to go today, and you've always been pleased with the energy. I mean, just how was it today?
It was good. Today was strictly Notre Dame game plan. So there was very little to get. At the end of the day, we culminated the practice with a competitive drill, offense against defense, and defense did really good. We were in the red zone, and they did really well today.
Can you talk about being retained on the staff and with two of the other coaches, just how nice it is to know that you have a future here with the guys you've been working with for so long?
That's a little bit of an emotional topic because there's a lot of good coaches here. A winning team, winning record. Look at. First of all, I'm blessed. Okay, I feel blessed to be able for Coach Golden to ask me to stay on because there's just wonderful kids here, and I love coaching these kids. So I feel very blessed and very fortunate that he asked me. The other thing is, there's a lot of football coaches, good football coaches that are out of work right now. And I'm not just talking about here. I'm talking about guys at Pittsburgh, Florida, Temple. There's coaches that are good football coaches that won a lot of games. And so right now, college football is a tough business. And as much as I feel blessed and happy that I don't have to uproot my family and stuff, I also feel sad for a lot of people.
Jeff, this group that you had this year and the improvement they made, not only in the running game, cutting the sacks by 20, where do you think the big step was taken, either individually or as a group?
Well, it was obviously addressed at the end of last year. We put a lot more attention onto it, and we tried not to put ourselves put our guys in bad positions, and not that we did last year, but the year before. But we looked at it, what you call quality control. You analyze that, and you try to fix the problem so it doesn't happen again. So those areas were cleaned up.
I imagine being back, you're pretty excited about this group, given the youth like a Brandon Washington, Chantrell, Linder, those kind of guys that still have multiple years left. You got to be excited about that group.
And there's more. You mentioned just 3, but there's a lot more. The freshman class that we brought in this year, I think there were 5 or 6 guys. They're all solid guys, and they have a future here.
Can you talk a little bit about Chantrell? He was back today. How did he look today? And also just, obviously, he has a lot of upside, just about him generally this season.
Yeah, the return of Chantrell. He's been sick for this bug. He came out, and then he had to leave real quick, and then he came back out, and so I was happy with the fact that he tried to fight through it today a little bit, because we are into Notre Dame week now. But he's got room for improvement, but he's got a lot of great skills.
Is there any update you can give on DeMarcus Van Dyke also?
No, he'll be all right. He'll be fine. He's got a game.
Yeah. Talking more about Chantrell, I mean, he just develops people. Just what makes him special, how he played this year, knowing he didn't come in early.
Well, he's recognized in Minnesota as the dancing bear. I mean, he has such natural skills. I mean, he's got the size, obviously, and he has the ability to change direction. He can flat out run, and he uses his hands extremely well. I mean, he was coached very well in high school.
He seems like a down-to-earth guy too. For being the number one, everybody talks about him.
Yeah, he's unique. He's not he's low maintenance. He doesn't look for attention. Matter of fact, in recruiting, because he's here, I guess I can talk about that. He didn't like to talk on the phone. I thought for a minute there, I thought he didn't like me or he didn't like us. So I'm like, okay, we don't have a shot at this guy. But he just doesn't like talking to coaches on the phone. That's not his thing. He's not into all that stuff. A lot of guys are. He's not. But it says kind of who he's a worker. He is a worker. He comes to work every day, and he has a bright future.
Jim, with Coach Golden being here a couple days and maybe getting to know him a little bit, what do you feel like for you it's a good fit? The things that you do that he likes, or the way you guys mesh?
Well, my college coach was a graduate of Penn State, Paul Pasqualoni, who was here as the defensive coordinator. He was a Penn State guy, and he really ran the program at Syracuse. And when I was in college, he coaches the same way. I mean, I think those guys are all cut from the same piece of cloth, to be honest with you. So I was raised in that type of environment. I was, so hope that answers your question.
Jeff, you guys had a number of penalties this year. Your thoughts on that, and is there any way to cut that down for the bowl game?
Yeah, we've addressed that. I called the officials each time there was penalties, and I had them analyze them to me and tell me what, and they were great about it. They told, one thing about offensive linemen, when they tell you you can use your hands, which is legal, they have to stay within the framework of the body. Once your hands come outside the framework of the body, you got to let go. And the key factor that they always tell me is always keep your feet alive, always keep your feet moving, and they usually let you go. If your feet stop, and then they're going to call you. So those are the things that I keep teaching in drill work, and you'll hear me if you're out there, and all the individual time I'm coaching that stuff, and I'm constantly talking about getting your hands inside. So they get tired of hearing me, but it's got to be. It's just like the other stuff you mentioned earlier in the run game, the sacks. You got to address it, and you got to coach it every day.
And the false starts and the offsides on both sides of the ball. How do you rectify that?
Well, it just has to be brought to their attention, and I think that it's playing smart. It's being a smart football player, understanding. False starts, free snap penalties are unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. That kills you, especially when you get down in the red zone. So we practiced. We do things in practice to try to simulate what happens in the game. We've done it. We did that today. Because Notre Dame does some things that they get a lot of people jumping off sides.
Go ahead, and then
Okay, Jeff, I just had a question about Travis. I know, again, he's not in your position group, but maybe if you could just talk a little bit about him.
About who?
Travis Benjamin.
Yes.
He's had 700 yards receiving, pretty good, but he's also, he had the drop against Virginia Tech. He had a tough game against Ohio State. Just in general, how do you view his season and going forward with him, what's Travis capable of if he puts it all together?
I think he could be. I think he could be what Hank was this year. I think, and he just, in my opinion, and we talk about this in the staff room, the offense does, he has to attack the ball. Go and attack the ball. And he'll get some calls that way, and just go and attack the ball. And when he does that, he's really super special. And he's obviously got the speed to run by people. So.
Last question.
Wanted to know.
That's okay.
I just want to know, Jordan, how he's changed positions. How does he look so far?
He looks good. He's one problem, not a problem. I call him opportunities. Is he's so aggressive that sometimes he'll get himself out of balance when he's blocking, and he'll go and attack the guy and he'll slam him, but then the defender will get off the block and go make the play. He just has to understand that on some of these blocks he has to hold him for a period of time so we can get the ball by him. Once he starts to understand stuff like that, then he's better. Like he's been better at it. I was talking to him about it. He's like, oh, that makes sense. He's not done it before.
He's a very enthusiastic guy, obviously.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He's aggressive is what he is.
Thank
Go ahead.
you.
No, go
I
ahead.
can ask a bonus question? All right, bonus question. I don't know if you can even answer it, but, Al's watched practice and we haven't been able to talk to him. Has he given any feedback on just the level of athlete that we have here at Miami and what his impressions are?
We're really doing two different things right now, but he just asked me the first day he was out here, he said, he said to me, do you guys practice with that enthusiasm all the time? I said, that was the day I said I didn't think we practiced that well. That was not the best day we had, but so, I think our guys practice great. I really do. I don't think that's been an issue all year. I really don't. I mean, the speed is there. The scout team, the guys giving a look have done a great job. So.
Thanks a lot, John.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Jeff.